What's good, guys? Welcome to Aaron and Joe Wrapped, where we talk about our favorite media of the year. We're going to start off with top 3 movies. We're also going to be doing stuff like music, our favorite YouTube video, our own favorite videos that we've done this year. And feel free to type your opinion on our list and also type your own list in the comments. So my top 3 movies, number 1, okay.
You're starting with number 1?
Okay, yeah, that's a bad idea.
The
By the way, this is 2023 releases, and unfortunately, I missed a lot of 2023 movie releases.
Such as?
I didn't see Iron Claw. I didn't see The Holdovers.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, that's one of them.
That.
I need to see that.
Bottoms, Anatomy of a Fall,
Bottoms,
and May, December, I think are the big ones that I missed as well.
Yeah, I missed May, December as well. But I swear, this is still interesting. Keep watching.
Wait,
Keep watching. My number 3 pick is Oppenheimer.
Oh, really? Number 3?
Yeah. I gave it an 8 out of 10. My favorite Nolan movie. My main compliment for it is that it is very fast-paced. The 3 hours goes by quick, which thank God, because I hate how 3-hour movies are being normalized. I do think it's like necessary for certain ones, and I think this was actually a justified 3-hour movie. But there's been a few 3-hour movies that have come out the past 3 years that I'm like, why was this 3 hours? Anyways, it handled the 3-hour runtime really well. Editing was great. The music was a little too... There's just constant music throughout the whole thing. It's just them talking, and the music's like... It's not even that crazy of a moment. So, I mean, the music's good, but it's just constant. Great performances all around. I'm going to stop.
You're going to pass it over to me for my number 3?
It's the Passover.
Oh,
I know Iron Claw would. I feel like Iron Claw would be easily beating Oppenheimer. This is why I'm a little ashamed as Oppenheimer. Okay, yeah, go.
My number 3 is, drum roll please, Poor Things by Yorgos Lanthimos.
What a great movie.
That movie was so much fun to watch. It hits all the points that you want from a Yorgos film. The performances, there's just something about what he's able to get out of his actors that pisses me off, because it's how the frick is every single performance so enjoyable. And I think what really stood out in this movie was that there are so many side characters that have every right to steal the show because they're so entertaining and they're so much fun to watch on screen. You are just glued into the screen. However, they are still unable to outshine Emma Stone, which is just fucking shocking to me with how well written and performed the side characters are. Watching the arc of her character was extremely fun.
Yeah, catch it in theaters as soon as you see this.
But don't watch it with your family, because
yeah,
it is
don't.
Christmas time. There's a buttload of horrifying naked men.
Well, now no one's going to see it. No, it's worth your time just for Mark Ruffalo's performance. I mean, it's the best shot movie of the year by far. That's the best color graded and shot movie.
Yeah, I agree.
My number 2.
Do you want a drum roll? Do we do a drum roll every time?
Drum roll. Actually, guitar solo. Across the Spider-Verse. Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh.
That's what it is. Do I really need... We don't really need to say much.
All right,
Brad.
talking about my number 2 now.
Let me try to give a hot take that no one else says, but I don't know. Shout out to the animation team, because I still don't know how they do it, even after Into the Spider-Verse.
That's a hot take?
They still... No, I can't think of a hot take, bro. I can't think of a hot take.
Wait, so you set up... I got a hot take, and you had no hot... That's such a Michael Scott, moment. I love it. That was sick as fuck.
But it's just, it is, crazy to comprehend how they can make... I think it was, an hour, 45-minute, just pure, gorgeous, every frame. Oh, my gosh, there's so much going on. It's a feast for the eyes. I don't need it... Yeah, why am I even... My only complaint is that it wasn't a complete movie, because it's a part 1. And so that pissed me off a little bit, because they didn't market it as a part 1. The only way you would know it was a part 1 is if you were actively reading about oh, let me know about this movie. But I was trying to know nothing about this movie, so I didn't know it was part 1. I can't give a perfect score because of the part 1 thing.
Yeah, it's my number 6 because of that.
All right, yeah. Your number 2.
My number 2 is... The Iron Claw. This fucking movie, it hurts. It hurts so bad. it sucks
Is
every
it
moment.
is it like a stub your toe hurt, or is it a kicked in the balls?
It's like a bullet through the liver. Specifically, like if you have a brother or a sister, just any type of family relation, it connects and you're gripped to the screen. It's so entertaining. I'm not a huge fan of wrestling, but I was just locked in no matter what they were doing. And then it was the worst thing to watch ever because I cried so many times during this movie. There's like a couple moments where like you're going to cry every time. And I've watched it twice, and I cried both times at this moment. So it's 100% success rate in bringing out tears within me.
That was your number 2?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I have an idea of what your number 1 is, but okay, whatever. I'll reveal my number 1. Stay tuned for Joe's number 1.
Wow, they're gonna click off after they hear yours because like, all right, that's the only opinion I need. You asshole.
Just a reminder, we are doing music after this, and I swear it's interesting. My number 1. Can we get a whistle? Hunger Games prequel. Number 1 is Poor Things.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very visual guy, you know, and like I said, it is the best shot movie of the year. It's color graded beautifully. It is very bizarre and blunt and explicit. Just a warning, this isn't like Joe said.
All you liberals out there.
No, this would actually terrify conservatives. This movie, dude, if a conservative watched this movie, they'd die.
It's like giving a medieval child a Sprite.
Yeah, that's a kind of a good way to explain the movie. It's like the most carbonated McDonald's Sprite. I've never seen Mark Ruffalo in a role that really impressed me. Like I saw him in Zodiac and he did good, but it wasn't like, ugh. And I saw him in Hulk and he was just like, I love Black Widow. And I was like, what? It's good to know that my family relative is a good actor. My mom's brother-in-law, his cousin is married to Mark Ruffalo. So,
He's not lying. On Jaw.
Yeah. So, yeah, me and Mark go way back. But no, the movie also tackles themes of men being controlling over women in a very, very unique way. I mean, a bunch of different movies attack the feminism, women being controlled thing, but the way it's handled in this was just probably my favorite execution of doing that theme, just because of how off the wall it is.
Because it's directed by a man. Okay. All right. Your favorite feminist movie is directed by a man.
Honestly, was a better feminist movie than Barbie. Sorry, Greta. I know you're watching. All right. Well, that was our top 3 2023 releases. What should we do? We should just do 2023 first. Let's do songs. Or do you want to do albums?
I think first I'd actually like to say my number 1.
Oh, shit. That's what I get for not structuring this video beforehand.
Can you give me a kazoo? My number 1 is The Holdovers. Oh, man, this movie. This is the Christmas movie. I love this movie so much. What's funny is the director, I think, is kind of pissed off because he's like, this isn't a Christmas movie. It talks about a lot more than that. It does. There's a lot to be said about it just as far as loneliness, connection, especially during Christmas time where that's, the highest suicidal rate. That's where everyone feels super lonely when they don't have family and stuff like that. So each character is kind of the antithesis to another in this little trio that we have. And it makes for a really interesting movie with how they connect, how they grow, what each character experiences over Christmas, and what type of state they're in. I think, the disadvantage of Christmas is kind of the pressure and
not enough gifts.
Yeah. Where the fuck's Santa? Just overall the pressure that the holidays bring in many different aspects. Again, I'm a performance whore right now. Paul Giamatti, everyone in the cast was just wonderful.
Oh yeah, you told me the lady from the Idols in it.
I'm blanking on her name right now, as well as the young actor from it. But both of them were just...
Troye Sivan.
It's a comfort movie where you watch the characters be uncomfortable. It's a wonderful film. Go watch it.
It's a Wonderful Life. Well, guys, that is our number 1. Number 1, Poor Things, and number 1, Holdovers. Go watch those movies, because they're both flopping.
My number 3 album of the year is Johnny Booth, Moments Elsewhere. I was not familiar with Johnny Booth before this album came out, and it has made me a fan. Bone-crushing riffs, breakdowns, vocals. I love this guy's vocals. I'm so engaged with how he's able to get that sing scream sound. The Ladder, The Mirror, I think those back-to-back are just such fun songs to listen to.
My number 3, it's a close call, but I'm probably going to have to go with Yule or Yuli. The album Soft Scars. What the hell is this genre? Dream pop mixed with glitch pop mixed with shoegaze mixed with noise pop. And there's some rock influence in it as well. It's a very atmospheric pop, sonically pop, but it's not like mainstream pop where it's not like some Dua Lipa stuff, okay? Just listen to the freaking album. Top 2 songs I recommend would be XWX, which is the first song on the album. It's a great intro. And then, it'd have to be Daisies. Daisies was, I think, on my top 10. Like most played on Spotify.
All right.
Number 2.
My number 2 is Invent Animate Heavener. This album fucking crushes. It's so good. Aaron's been like the Invent Animate stan. That was really hard to get out. Sorry about that, guys.
And they made Painted Lenses for us. The instrumental.
And I wasn't as hyped as him for this release, but once it came out, god fucking damn. Now that I'm looking back on that album, thinking about it, Without a Whisper should probably be in my top 3 songs. I didn't write it in. Great variation sonically between. It's like you're soaring like an eagle above the clouds as you're listening to the Marcus go.
Yeah, Without a Whisper would be the best song to check out first.
Mm-hmm. A classic metalcore album for a classic metalcore gal like myself. Go ahead, you're number 2. Let me hear it.
My number 2 is Johnny Booth.
Ooh!
Moments Elsewhere. Spotify Rap didn't calculate it correct, because what I'm trying to say is if this album came out earlier in the year, this would have been my top 3, like one of my most played songs. But Why Becomes How, there's really only one song on this album that I skip. All right, number 1.
My number 1 is Madison and Floral by Sign Language. This album is so good. Sometimes there's these little emo sad boy albums that I just latch on to. It's a comfort album. I'm constantly going to be playing it. Love the guitar tone. I said that a couple times in my music reviews, but that's a very important factor in my music. And vocals too. It's comforting, it's refreshing, it's hopeful, it's sad, it's reflective. It's everything I want. Really nice album, and it's my favorite of the year, and I love it.
All right, my number 1, shocker. It is Invent Animate Heavener. There's a good variety in this. Like I said, Without a Whisper, I'd say is the best song to like get into. But my favorite song on the album and my most played song of the year is Labyrinthine. That is our albums of the year. Honorable mention, a Jesus Piece, though.
Ooh.
To move away from music for a second, we did not watch many 2023 shows. However, Succession did end, and Succession is one of our favorite shows. I think it might be my favorite show of all time, but it did end. It had a great ending. Shout out Succession. Go watch Succession.
With Barry as well.
Let's do our top Aaron and Joe videos. The videos that we enjoyed making the most and look back and we're like, yeah, that was a banger of a video. Do you know yours?
Yes, I do. Let me pull it up. Oh, we can just do top 2.
Okay. My number 2, I didn't know specifically what video to put because it's a series, but I just want to put the Idol out there. I don't know specifically what Idol video was the best, but just the Idol in general. I mean, it was our most successful series that we've done on the channel yet, but it was also it was perfect content. Like, that's literally what it was. And even though this show was horrid, it was still fun to record and make fun of.
Every time when I came here, I know I had to put myself through an episode of The Idol. It was such a mental,
Yeah, there was this dread in the room.
But my number 2 is going to be Red, White, and Royal Blue. I absolutely loved that video just because I think some of my favorite ones to record are the really shitty Netflix romance ones. Like Kissing Booth or
Tall Girl.
Those ones are really fun for me. Red, White, and Royal Blue wasn't as bad as a movie as those other Netflix comedy ones.
It had that same tone.
Yeah, it had that same tone and that same... the characters give off a charisma, a shitty Netflix, like, I'm hot, you're supposed to fall in love with me, like, style.
It's almost like, what's the word for the way people talk in like the 40s movies. It's like
The
no,
transatlantic accent.
yeah, it's almost like that's the modern transatlantic like genre or something.
The entire Uma Thurman president performance.
Yeah.
It just I had so much fun with that. What's your number one? Break it down for me.
My number one was the Hallmark made a horror movie.
Walk the local trails. That's my big macho experience. Day hikes.
You're like one of the only alpha males I've met lately.
That was my number 3. That was my number 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was such a good feeling finally getting back to like a B-rated movie. Because if you guys don't know, like the first videos we did on this channel were literally just low budget movies. So, Birdemic, Titanic 2,
Sharkenstein.
I needed to like
get a nice refresher.
I needed to
in
get another B-rated movie on the Aaron and Joe channel, and that hit the spot for me. Like, I was super satisfied with editing that, and like I felt good putting that video out just because of how ridiculous that movie was.
All right, so my number one is Ashley Tisdale made a problematic movie.
But of course.
I could not stop thinking about this fucking movie for a week straight. It was stuck in my mind. And looking back on it now, I still don't know what the fuck happened.
I need to rewatch.
So, like, I am stunned.
The scene that's forever ingrained in my brain is the kid and the dad that's like babysitting the kid watching the pregnancy video. And the dad leaves for a phone call, comes back, and the kid's watching porn. Like, what the fuck was that, dude? Yeah, so that was our personal favorite videos that we made this year. Let's move on to other creators, though. I told Joe to also write down his favorite YouTube video of the year.
Mine is going to be Cosmonaut Variety Hour. It's going to be The Hobbit, Why It Sucks. It's just a really enjoyable video going over all the goofs and gaffs and wonderful moments that Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit has to offer.
My number one is one I discovered last week, and I was tripping so hard because I knew nothing about this creator beforehand, and I'm going to have you guys going blind. So The Mask 2023. I literally don't even want to talk about this at all. I'm going to link it in description. Just go watch that after this video. It just made me feel something I never felt from a YouTube video before.
Shout out Slushy Noobs. Their YouTube channel is really fun. I'm sure you guys watch them.
Top 3 songs. And this is a big deal for me because I'm more passionate about these songs than I am about the albums of the year, to be honest. Like, you just run through the 3
Yeah,
right
I'll
now.
just run through my
You want to
3.
go first?
Yeah. Number 3 is a 2-way tie between Jaded Spiritbox and Without a Whisper, Invent Animate. Number 2 is going to be Predestination Paradox by like Moss to Flames. I fucking love this song,
Dude, oh man,
so much.
don't even get me started.
I'm wearing their merch. Chorus as well as that little breakdown.
The chorus is it's one of the best choruses
Yeah.
of the year, dude.
My number 1 is I feel like this is gonna be your number 1 too. Delusional World Champion by Gene Dawson.
It is not my number 1, but it is in my top 3.
Okay. I'll let Aaron talk about that song then because Aaron showed me that song. It's such a good song.
Yeah. I also have a tied for number 3 because I just thought of, before you said it too, like during this recording earlier, I was like, oh, fuck. Predestination Paradox. Number 3 is tied. I would do Predestination Paradox, the Like Monster Flame song that we just talked about, tied with Delusional World Champion by Gene Dawson. Delusional World Champion is a must listen. I'll link all these in description. This blends that like modern indie rap fusion perfectly. It's also a little psychedelic. It's a perfect song. The structure of it is so good. The music video is good too. Number 2, this album just came out. It's a collab from the band Nothing and the band Full of Hell. A song called Like Stars in the Firmament. It is the most entrancing, hypnotic song of this year. The guitar tone, here we go again, is
Guitar tone.
perfect. It is probably my favorite slow pace. It's a very slow pace song, or BPM wise, it's slow paced. But it feels like a heavy song because of the subject matter. The vocals fall on the instrumental perfectly. It's an experience. Don't put this on in the car. This is like a room song, like just played in your room. Number 1, this was really hard. I put Why Becomes How as number 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Johnny Boof up in this bitch.
Yeah. The pre-chorus of the song is probably catchier than the actual chorus. There you go. Songs to listen to from Aaron and Joe.
I love Kellen Quinn.
I'm just trying to think of any other shout-outs of the year we need to give. Shout out our Patreon.
I was gonna say shout out Aaron, so I'm glad you said Patreon instead. That would have been a little
Shout out Joe. But yeah, thank you guys for continuing to support us. We're going to do like a little post discussion right here if you want to hear us talk more. Our Patreon is linked in description, and we are going to be recording for like another 20 minutes talking about more of 2023 recap and also just personal stuff that's going on. Thank you guys so much once again. Thank you, YouTube. You're the best.